Next up is Merri Ann Osborne.
Thanks again, Noni.
You're so glad to have you, Merri Ann. Let me let the world know who you are, the rest of the world that doesn't already know. Merri Ann Osborne has been intrigued by stories and the art of storytelling since childhood. In middle school, she started writing stories, plays, songs, and jingles, and hasn't stopped since. Not one to be pigeonholed by genre or labels, Merri Ann utilizes various media to express and share her art, including acting, dance, voiceover, producing, and directing. Having lived and traveled abroad, Merri Ann is drawn to writing about the intersections of culture, history, clash, and social issues. She explores how these themes impact relationships and our shared future. Her first published short story, The Crew, can be found in AWA's 2018 8th anthology, Voices That Matter. She is currently putting the final touches on her young adult historical fiction novel, City Girl, Country Summer. You also can find Merri Ann's work on productions at the Mahogany Project, an arts organization where she serves as the executive director. Merri Ann.
Thank you. That was wonderful, Kibibi. And I also, this is a new piece for me too, and it's called Hiking, Canoeing, and Swimming, working title. Okay, everyone? I hope you like it. Spring had come to the city. The flowers were all in bloom, and little Zahara loved the springtime, especially when walking to school. She would take her time and wave at the squawking birds in the trees and look at the colorful roses, their scent floating in the breeze. And far off in the distance, Mount Rainier, full of snow, made her feel so special, her body all aglow. She didn't mind the bugs and bees or the pollen in the air. Zahara means to bloom and shine, and there was magic everywhere. At school, she liked reading and writing, math, music, and art, hanging out with her friends and playing in the park. She was thankful every day for the food her family had to eat. Thankful for her parents and her two big brothers and the shoes on her feet. But when spring came to an end and summer was just beginning, her parents told her something she didn't expect that set her mind spinning. "We signed you up for summer camp," said Mama. Zahara listened, stunned. "Hiking, canoeing, and swimming. You'll have so much fun." "I went to summer camp when I was your age," her daddy added in. "I remember all the laughter at the campfire with my friends." Now, Zahara loved her parents, always did what she was told, but she didn't want to go to some stupid camp, and she had to tell them so. Zahara started pleading to her mother and her father, "Please don't send me to summer camp. I won't be a bother. I'll clean the house. I'll do any chore. I want to stay at home. Don't send me off to summer camp. I'll be so alone." Mama said gently, "Baby, it's just for a week. And you won't be all alone. There's lots of new friends that you'll meet. And trust me, Zahara, when I say, don't worry so. We know you'll have so much fun. You'll be glad we had you go." Daddy said, "And when you come back from camp, oh, the stories you'll tell all of us. In fact, I could use a summer camp. You're kind of making me jealous." Still, she wasn't convinced. So that night before she went to bed, Zahara told her older brothers, and this is what they said. Little sis, don't you worry, and don't be so sad. Hiking, canoeing, and swimming? That camp doesn't sound so bad. At least you'll be having lots of fun instead of what Dad's gonna have us doing. Weeding, painting, fixing stuff. We sure won't be canoeing. And besides, didn't Mom and Dad tell you where you're camping at? You're going to Mount Rainier, little sis. And that was that. Now, Zahara was excited. And let me tell you why. She wanted to see Mount Rainier up close, under the big blue sky. The next few weeks, Daddy told her stories of when he was young, when he went off to his summer camp at 8 years old, how much he changed when he was done. You're 8 years old, just like I was, your first time away from home. Feeling lonely and even scared, maybe thinking you won't belong? Listen closely, Zahara, to what I'm telling you. Just be yourself. Know you are loved, and you'll be surprised what you can do. The night before she left for camp, Zahara checked she had everything. Toothbrush, toothpaste, pajamas, hairbrush, towel, and swimming suit. Long pants, shorts, and shirts, sandals, and hiking boots. Hat, jacket, and raincoat, underwear, and sunblock. Lots of things for her to remember. Could there be something Zahara forgot? The next morning, she hugged her family and got on the summer camp bus, trying not to feel so lonely, trying not to feel so lost. When they arrived at the camp, everyone was moving in a blur. Kids, teenagers, and adults. Excitement in the air. Her cabin was called Chinook, like the salmon who swim so strong. There were 10 bunk beds, which meant 10 little girls. She hoped they would all get along. Zahara's bed was on the top. She'd never slept in a bunk bed before. She hoped she wouldn't fall off and roll hard onto the floor. Just then, she heard a bell ring. So she put her suitcase down and ran outside to see what was going on and why they were making that sound. Turns out the bell was to let everyone know that summer camp had begun. And from that day, when that bell rang, it meant they were all going to have fun. The counselors talked about safety. She tried to learn everyone's names. They ate lunch together under the trees, and they played all these fun camp games. And peeking up between the trees, come to save the day, was Mount Rainier, her dear old friend, and she knew she'd be okay. The first night at the campfire, they learned about the stars, like the Big Dipper and the Milky Way. With binoculars, she saw Mars. In her bunk bed that evening, she giggled with the other 9 little girls. They laughed about all they did that day. And then something flew into her curls. She couldn't help it. She started itching and swinging her arms in the air. Bug spray. That's what she forgot. Mosquitoes buzzing in her ears. Then the counselor came and yelled, "Lights out, it's time to go to sleep." He closed the door. Everyone got quiet, and soon she was asleep. By day 2, she had made more friends, saw a deer, an eagle, and a hawk. The kids learned how to be good leaders and not be afraid of the dark. Day 3, they went hiking in the forest. full of hemlocks and spruces and pines. The trees helped her feel so calm that she lost all sense of time. In the afternoon, they went canoeing and swimming in a cool mountain lake. She had never rowed before in her life, and that night she felt her arms ache, but she couldn't wait to canoe again. The next day and the next day again. The days were passing by so quickly, and soon they would come to an end. And every morning when she woke up, she saw the mountain oh so high. It gave her strength, hope, and joy. She felt like she could fly. On the fourth day at the campfire, she told a scary story she'd learned from her dad. And when she said, "Boo!" on the final line, her counselor fell off his chair. On day 5, they met with the park rangers, who let them wear their ranger hats and told the kids they were the future in keeping the forest intact. The mountains, animals, trees, fish and water, insects, and the air have to be treated kindly, they said, have to be shown lots of care. And even if you're a little kid, there's plenty you can do to make sure that we live in harmony, a healthy world for me and you. When day 6 came, she cried silently. Zahara knew she would soon be home. And while she missed her family, she knew that she had grown. Just like her daddy had told her, something inside her was stronger. She had more trust and belief in herself and wasn't afraid any longer. On the 7th day, her last one at camp, she gathered phone numbers from her new friends. Everyone had come from all over Washington. They promised to see each other again. When she got home later that night, back together with her family, Zahara told them stories about the camp, her walking in the trees, hiking, swimming, and canoeing, Mount Rainier and the animals she had seen, how she wanted to be a camp counselor when she became a teen. Zahara was true to her name. That summer she shined and blossomed, hiking, swimming, and canoeing. Zahara, you are awesome. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.